should just go till 3 today. What's that? Hey guys, it's gonna be a short one today. Sounds about right. Hello. Welcome to Escape Pod number 38.
38 times we've done this, huh?
38 times.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. What are we going to do today, Todd?
I don't know, man. Struggling. Actually, I've got some stuff to play with.
Todd's going to climb into his drawer.
I'm climbing into my drawer, pulling out some stuff. Oh man, it was a rough Halloween weekend.
Well, hey there, Rebecca. First time watching the stream.
Get too excited.
Whoops, sorry, I covered up our faces there. Keep your expectations low, Rebecca. Rebecca, are you in any of our classes? I know you're not in my classes. Give us a minute here and we will get set up. Ooh, this is going to be tricky, Todd. I have everything set up. Just transferred into UTD and ATEC. All right. Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
I guess so.
Well,
Yes, I am ready.
All right.
In fact, I need to open some stuff up here. I'm going to go ahead and share. Are you ready to share?
Yeah, I'm ready. What courses do we teach? One second here. Hold on. I'm going to switch over here. All right.
So Sean teaches character animation and also teaches what we call visual story, we both teach visual story, which is basically image composition, storyboarding, little bits of kind of design. We're just now getting into teaching, or we're learning, and then also going to be starting to teach Harmony, so 2D animation in Harmony using Puppet-based rigs. I also teach modeling. This is going to be exciting. I haven't opened this in months, Sean.
What is it?
Oh, it's the animatic.
So I'm trying to figure out. I have everything set up backwards on my monitors. Like I need to be able to draw in Harmony, but it's on the wrong monitor. So I got to think for a second how I'm going to switch this. What are you interested in, Rebecca? What did you transfer here for? You didn't realize that you were going to get quizzed by coming on the live stream. Game for game design. Now you're into modeling.
Nice. Yeah, we've got lots of modeling classes, different modeling classes. I need to turn my monitor, Sean. Uh-oh, it's got music on it.
Is that music? Mute the music, because I keep getting copyright things that I then have to go fix.
Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Okay, now we don't have any music turned on, so it should play without music. Alright. I just don't even remember what I did with this thing.
Ooh, gotta turn that off.
Alright.
So what are we working on today? So we finished up our Halloween stuff last week. And so Todd is on the animatic for one of our shorts, Boxers and Briefs. And I am going to try to animate in 2D here in a second. I'm trying to get my monitor and everything set up so that I can draw on my Cintiq right here. Currently, I have everything switched, so I've got to fix it. That's why you're seeing nothing on mine right now. So I will get to work shortly.
Do we do these projects just for fun? Actually, we do. Well, we do them for a number of different reasons. So, we have to create stuff every so often as part of our job. Um, and we have a number of things that we have wanted to do for a very long time that we're starting to get into. One of which is 2D animation, which is what we're using Harmony now. But we also do it for teaching purposes. So a lot of the things that we wrap into our classes come out of our projects and things that we want to try, and the new classes, everything like that. So we try to tie everything together, which is also kind of why we tried live streaming all this stuff, and we put up together the whole escape pod thing. Is that people can kind of see what we're working on. Specifically, a lot of our students come on here, but and then they can see the content that comes out of it. So. I am trying to find out, Sean, where I have all this stuff. Oh my goodness, this is so bad. Here we go.
All right. Things are going to get ugly for a second. Is that all right?
Oh man. Just when I had so much stuff going on.
Bear with me here for a second, Rebecca and anybody else who's on here. Trying to get it so that I can work on my Cintiq. All right, I'm getting close. There we go. That's close enough.
Oh, that looks great. I'm not going to be doing anything that looks pretty today. I'm just doing a lot of really rough stuff, trying to figure out a few things.
Did we both graduate from UTD? No, not really. Todd went to Ohio State. I went to SCAD. I did get my my MFA here, but that was after I had already animated for many years, and so I was just coming back to teach. Where'd you transfer from, Rebecca?
Cool. Indiana.
Wow. How in the world did you get from? I always think it's interesting. How did you get from there to here? Like, what is it that brought you all the way? I went to school in Lexington, Kentucky. So not too far from you.
Interesting.
What?
Oh, she said she was from Texas originally, and then went out to Indiana for the theater program, and then after COVID hit, decided to come back to change career paths. Oh yeah, if you're already familiar with lighting and whatnot, a lot of the digital lighting works the same way, or can work the same way, I should say.
Hey, Grace. How are you doing?
Hey, Grace.
See, Todd, if we hadn't done it today, we wouldn't have met Rebecca.
That's right.
Beverage time. We're gonna get nice and close to the mic.
This hour brought to you by, what is that, Shasta?
Brought to you by Tab.
Actually, Grace, this is really old stuff that we were working on a few months, or I've been working on for a few months now. Sean and I have been kind of developing for a while. And it all got put on hold when we switched over to Banjo Birds, and then we jumped onto the Halloween stuff, and now I am trying to go back and make sense of what my notes were. There were a lot of notes about what had to happen. This is for a short that we're doing.
Yeah, we so Boxers and Briefs, that's what Todd's working on. We've been working on that off and on for a while. Hoping, well, it's gonna be a while because it's a big one, or bigger. Anyways, have we always wanted to be animators? No, absolutely not. So I started. I said that the first place I went to school was in Lexington, Kentucky, at a school called Asbury, and I did computer programming. But that didn't last very long. And then they have a really good media communications department. So I started doing that. So like TV and broadcast. But I can't remember what it was. I mean, I was doing a lot of stuff. I was filming hockey games, and I went to the Olympics and did camera stuff there. But it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't like I was just doing it. I don't think I was really into it. But then somewhere along the lines, I got really interested in animation. And so I decided I wanted to do that. And that's when I switched. What?
I thought you said that you made a bet with Michael Phelps that if he could beat you in a race, you would quit doing camera work.
Oh, Todd, that was before Michael Phelps.
Oh, sorry.
I'm old.
No. I'm talking about Michael Phelps when he was like 10.
when he was an 8-year-old. Anyways, that's how I eventually got into animation.
Man, how old are you?
Not as old as you.
You must be ancient. Oh, man. All right.
Right now, I am 2D animating a bubble burst, which I was going to try to do for our creature animation for the Halloween thing, but didn't have time to, but it didn't matter because Todd went ahead and did it on his own, and it looks awesome. So, anyways, I didn't have a whole lot to do today, so that's what I'm going to try. That's what I'm trying. I'm not a 2D animator. So I am definitely looking at reference off to the side. So if you see me keep looking over here, I'm looking at some reference. Because I don't really know what I'm doing. And I don't actually know for sure if I'm doing this correctly in Harmony. But this would be just like rough animation. You'd go back and do a cleanup pass. But again, I'm not a 2D animator, so if somebody looks at this and is like, "Hey, that's stupid. I would never do it that way." Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, so. Oh, cool, Grace. Yeah, so that's what I used to do.
Man, coming up with ideas today is really hard, Sean.
That's why I'm basically copying right now.
I got nothing. Oh well, I'm gonna sit here and just stare at this until I get something.
Rebecca, I am using this book right here. If it might be reading backwards. Elemental Magic. It's all 2D animation stuff on effects, like smoke and water, fire, whatever. And there's some examples in here. So there's an example of a bubble popping. And I was going to try this at home and just do it on a on just an iPad and use Procreate. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. I mean to do it like when I'm sitting around at night with nothing to do, watching football or something. But I haven't done it. So anyway, there's 2 volumes of this book, Elemental Magic Volume 2. And they've been sitting on a desk or on a shelf for years, collecting dust until today. So this is going to be an experiment. I've never done this, so this might look cool. It might look awful.
You know what I would do?
What would you do?
Start over.
Hey Todd, you see that animatic you got?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Don't worry.
If you could just hit the delete key.
I'm thinking about it. Oh, dude. I had all kinds of notes that I wrote out. Because remember we talked way back when?
Yeah.
And I wrote all kinds of notes out about I could do this, and I lost them. And that was months ago. And now I'm trying to remember what it was that I was doing and trying to... A question mark could be kind of cool. Oh, that could be cool, actually. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, which is pretty much everybody, we're doing a sequence in this short where these 2 characters are trying to pick out what type of underwear they want to wear. It's a very highbrow concept.
That's the only subject matter we deal with. It's very highbrow.
No, but we're actually doing like a trippy, like bizarro sequence in the middle of the short where everything's kind of free flowing from one thing into another, and there's little vignettes, and there's characters having to make choices and trying to find creative ways to get in and out of those, where it all kind of feels like it's fluid, like it's constantly moving and constantly.
Yeah, Grace, I'll ask Nelson about that. I hadn't even thought about it. I'm curious if he's ever looked at these. He might have them in his office. I've got a friend who's a great 2D animator, and I see all of his stuff on Instagram all the time. He works on Teen Titans. Is it Teen Titans Go, or is it just Teen Titans?
It's Teen Titans Go.
But I always get to see, he posts all of his roughs and everything. I want him to come animate over here and animate with us. But he's big time. Oh, hold on just a second.
Don't they know we're streaming?
Hey, Sean.
Hey.
Are you teaching?
Uh-oh.
I'm streaming.
You're streaming?
Yes. Live streaming right now. You're
Look
about to
at
be on
you.
YouTube.
Oh, look at you guys.
Dies to do A's next door.
And maybe now is not a good time to talk to you.
You can jump off, Sean.
Okay.
I'll carry the load for a little bit.
Just for a moment.
Just mute up.
Okay.
Oh, Sean's in trouble. No, I'm kidding. He's not in trouble. Just a visitor. Let's see here.
Big time. Teen Titans Go. Yep. Yeah, that guy's really good. Maybe it's Oh, Sean will be fine. We're actually doing an event coming up, and that's all that's about. We've got some kind of event coming up. Let's see. So this short is actually something that Sean was developing with somebody else as just a series of little vignettes almost. And this was years ago, I guess, and nothing happened with that. And it was something that kind of stuck with him. And then when we started working together, he showed me the artwork for it, and I thought the characters were really cool because we have one of a friend of a friend design the overall look of the characters, the original characters that we're probably going to tweak just a little bit. But they were really fun and really kind of cool, and the concept that they originally had was cool, but then it kind of fell by the wayside. So about a year and a half ago, maybe even two, we started talking about doing something with it. And that's when we started to kind of experiment with ideas. And the idea is that most of these are just going to be like 30-second to 1 minute kind of little funny bits that happen. But what we wanted to do is kind of lengthen that out because we want to make something that we can submit to festivals and kind of sets up everything else. So this is kind of like an intro to the characters. So it's kind of taken on a life of its own. And I've been doing a lot of the work, kind of storyboarding it and kind of putting stuff together on it based on Sean's ideas and my own ideas. And right now we're kind of, like I said, we're kind of stuck in the middle part trying to get it to work. Well, we tried a few things out that were working okay, but it didn't do quite what we wanted it to do. So we've been picking at it, and now I'm trying to get back into it to get this done so that eventually we can start putting things together for it in terms of character rigs and stuff like that for the Harmony 2D puppets. So no, it's not. It wasn't that we were going to make a short about boxers and briefs, although he and I share a very similar sense of humor, which tends to be pretty stupid. But we like these characters because they're not sarcastic and they're not kind of mean. They're really, how do we describe them? They are very happy-go-lucky. They're always positive, even though they're a little dim. That's what we liked about them. It's not, a lot of stuff today is like sarcastic and kind of mean in tone and kind of spiteful. These guys have none of that. They're just fun. And that's kind of what we wanted to do with it. So if you're familiar with old school stuff, like, it's not even that old school. It's old school probably to you guys, but not to me. Like Ren and Stimpy had a tone to it, and we're not doing Ren and Stimpy's tone, but they have a fun kind of back and forth. But theirs was very kind of mean almost, especially Ren. This doesn't have that, but the way the characters interact is kind of the same. Or if you think about like some of the Looney Tunes stuff, or even Tom and Jerry to some extent, even though they don't beat up each other, they're not antagonistic towards each other. They're just very, very dim but good-hearted. So that's what made us want to do it. Yeah. So then we started building the story around that. I can tell you what the story is, or at least what we have so far. It's not a secret because if you go back to the live stream. So the general idea is there's a buy one get one sign, and at the very beginning of this, it's like the grand opening of this underwear store, and it's buy one get one, but then all of a sudden the buy one gets blown off of the sign right before our two kind of dim characters show up, and they're super excited to be there, right? Really excited. They see the underwear. That's why they're here. And then they're super excited. They jump up for joy. And then we find out that the reason is because they don't have any underwear, right? So some of this is all about the character, which one's boxers and which one's briefs. So they get really excited. And then all of a sudden they realize that they can only get one, and they don't know what that means because, again, they're kind of dim. So at first they think they can get one pair, maybe to share, which isn't right. They get rid of that. Nope, you get one, I get one. And then they're kind of looking around. All this stuff in here needs work. It's all kind of temp. All this stuff is temp. But the idea then is we kind of go inside their minds, and they start trying things on, and they're trying to play with it, and they're dancing around, trying them out. And then they have to make a choice, and that's where we are right now. So this is the initial part where they're just trying them out, and then eventually they have to make a choice. So it's that's what I'm trying to work on now, is getting ideas for how to get into conveying they have to make a choice in a simplistic way, but something that we can keep doing callbacks to throughout the little montage. And what I'm trying to do right now is play with the idea of like a jackpot kind of thing. The way I tend to storyboard stuff is really, really rough. I don't put any clean stuff down until the very, very end, and even then it tends not to be very clean because it doesn't really matter as long as we can understand what it is. The goal is not to make it look like a beautiful thing, even though we do have cleaned up images of like poses and stuff that we want to hit and all that kind of stuff as we move further along with it. But I think Sean will be rejoining us here shortly. We'll play a game with him when he comes back.
I am back. I already heard you. Too bad. I was muted when I said I'm back.
So what? I was like, that's cool and fun.
Big news, Todd. Big news.
Are you serious?
Maybe.
Oh, dude. Is this gonna mean more work?
It means less work, Todd.
Less work?
It means a large stress possibly off our shoulders.
They're not doing it?
Maybe. They might be pushing it to January.
Oh, dude.
Do you want to know why?
Because people aren't available?
Because no one's coming.
You know what I think?
They got 7 RSVPs.
7?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm on live stream, so whatever.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. All right, what are we doing? What is it? It's 2:48. I gotta read the chat. What did I miss?
They were okay. Do you prefer to start? You're asking all kinds of questions that don't have anything to do with you. It's about good stuff. Let's see.
I can just leave.
Yeah, you can just leave.
That's fine.
So it's you make it short about Boxers and Briefs. Okay, so I described the background of Boxers and Briefs and kind of how it got started and kind of way back when with you and Tim Pixton.
Yeah.
And friend Tim Pixton's friend did designs and stuff, and then I liked them and you liked them. We said let's make something fun, and then we didn't do anything with it for a while, and then we did do some stuff with it, and then we put it away, and now we're back on it again, kind of.
There you go.
Let's see. I took them through the epic journey of 2 guys showing up at the store trying to decide. And now we're here. So let's see. Do you prefer storyboarding digitally? I don't like storyboarding digitally. I like doing everything with like pencil and paper first, but that doesn't work very well on a stream like this. So I like I said, I draw really rough and I draw really crude for the most part. But I much prefer coming up with ideas when I'm not sitting in front of a computer. I feel like I have a much easier time doing it. And as soon as I sit down in front of the computer, it's like work time. When I try to make stuff that's finalized or getting towards that. I don't know if you think the same thing, Sean.
I wasn't listening to you.
Good. So
You said,
why,
sorry, you like to,
that is why his career's going nowhere.
you like to be, you're traditional, is that what you're saying?
The question was, do I prefer storyboarding digitally? And I prefer doing most things traditionally.
Yeah.
I just, for whatever reason, I have an easier time with it. And coming up with ideas and stuff like that, I think it's easier when I'm not sitting in front of the computer. For instance, most of my ideas come to me at soccer practice. Because I'll be sitting there and watching my kids practice soccer, and I've got a pen or a pencil and paper, and I'm just doodling ideas, and I'm not thinking about anything, and that's when I start thinking about things better. I'm too focused when I sit in front of the computer, and I don't like that. And I just get frustrated. Also, digital has undos, which are great. But they're also a problem because then you can kind of just keep tweaking and stuff forever. But it is nice. Like you see me in here copying and pasting and moving stuff around as I try to work through some of these. But
Yeah, so I have a much easier time with a pencil and a piece of paper. But it also depends on what I'm doing. Like I would never try to 2D animate this on pencil and paper because
no, that's true.
I wouldn't be able to do it correctly. So this is way easier. But when it comes to if I'm boarding, I part of it is the I've always drawn with a pencil and paper, so it's more comfortable to me. I can draw better with that than I can with this, and it's really just experience and habit. I just don't have very much experience. I don't draw in Photoshop. I'm not very good with that. So it's just preference like that. I mean, I wish I was good, really good with it. There's not a better or worse, just different.
Well, and I think I think you and I are similar in that we're not the world's greatest artists or drawers, right?
What?
We can sketch. He's not. I'm not either.
I'm not.
But we
Not
can
at all.
draw. We can draw to the point that we need to go in there and do what we want to do. So our goal is also not to become like amazing 2D animators. I would say where we're doing like crazy Glen Keane type stuff. We have certain things that we want to do that fall within a certain range. That for me, it's about making stuff. It's not about not making the most beautiful animation ever made because that's pointless for me to try to do because I'm not going to do that. And that's with Escape Pod too. Like we're trying all new stuff when we're on here. Like all the shorts that we just did, the little vignettes that we just did with the Halloween stuff and Banjo Birds. It's all new to us, and that to me is part of the fun as well. Where Sean does a lot of like gouache paintings and watercolor paintings, and I've been doing more digital painting and stuff like that as we go. But we're picking up different stuff that we eventually will probably end up using on our stuff. So
I think the things that we do on here are the things that we are really interested in now, even though we might not be the best at it. They're the things that are interesting to us. So, like, I don't 2D animate. It's always seemed really cool to me. Like, I've always wanted to do it. I mean, again, like Todd said, not professionally. I don't care to be a professional 2D animator, but I like the process and I like learning things that are new. So this is where I get to do it. I like painting. I'm not a professional painter. I don't think I ever really want to be, but I like the process and thinking about it and doing something brand new and kind of challenging like that. So that's what I do. And I think the other part about like Escape Pod is, you know, we like to, create our own stuff and kind of come up with stories. Again, we're not the best at it. But in order to do that, we're not really doing it the way that we were trained or like the stuff that we were good at professionally, like
right.
3D animation or 3D modeling or anything like that, simply because it takes too long and it's just too time intensive and if
we're not interested as much in that anymore.
Yeah, and I'm not, yeah, that's right. And I'm not I can go animate a 3D character and can do it very well, and Todd can model whatever, anything you want, you can do, and I can animate anything you want, but I'm just not super interested in doing that. And if we're going to create our own shorts and our own content, we're basically trying to learn new ways to do it so that we can do it on our own. And at the same time, do things that are fun to us right now, or fun for us. So, Toon Boom Harmony is it. Or at least that's one avenue right now.
All right, Sean, I have an idea.
Correct, Rebecca. 3D animation is work. It has become work now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I was building models for 20 some years. I still do it.
Yeah.
And it's 20 years of doing the same thing. And after a while, it gets to the point where it's like, and I would tell Sean this all the time, I would take on freelance work, and it's like you tune out and zone out, and I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just doing it. It's like robotic at this point, right? It's not that I don't enjoy it, but I don't enjoy doing work for other people. I enjoy doing stuff for myself. And that's the other part of this, is the stuff that we've always kind of wanted to play with. This is now our time to kind of get in there and start playing with it and doing different things during the experiments, so. All right, Sean.
Yes.
What do you think about this? And I think I got something that's kind of interesting. So if you remember correctly, Sean, all this stuff at the front, right, they're dancing, whatever else, is basically when basically I'm gonna put backgrounds in behind it, but that's where it's all about, this is what a pair of briefs is, this is what a pair of boxers is, right, and there'll be a narration that goes over that, kind of like we talked about way back when, if you remember.
Uh-huh.
So then, it's got to get into the choice, right? So my thought was, after we've got kind of all of the boxer guy together, and then we do a wipe to both of these with some question marks, and then it kind of, as you can only pick one, it circles around into a question mark itself. So that line kind of wraps around itself to a question mark. and then that question mark kind of turns like this into the lever of a slot machine, right? And then that gets grabbed and pulled down, and then that just cuts to then this, where you've got the different stuff right there, and it starts spinning, right? And then when it starts spinning, we cut into different little shots of them like doing stuff like that, and then every once in a while we just have that ding, one stops, and the other one the kind of trying something else, and then ding, it stops again, and then ding, it stops again, and that's when it's like, flood of coins or whatever else, but like a jackpot, right? Like they figured it out.
Nice.
Do you think something like, I mean, is that interesting or is that stupid?
I think it's cool.
Because I think we could do all kinds of stuff on these, and like having that kind of going and getting into that whole thing, and then like in between, then it gives us something to cut back to, and cut back and forth. Because right now I don't think there's anything to cut to. It's all like just flowing, but there's nothing that's like deciding, and then bing, and then it's like all. And I don't think it has to be that each one of them. It can just be like as we cut in and out of these things, it's locked in, and then we cut to that next shot of them all kind of walking, then it's all kind of figured out. Anyways.
Yeah.
But I just need to come up with stuff, or you need to help me come up with stuff that's happens in between there. Like I said, things that they can be doing to try them out. Like everyday things, just bizarre things where they're trying to.
No, I like it. I think it's good. Todd. So, I'm supposed to have a game tonight.
Oh yeah?
I'm playing Dude Perfect again.
You are?
Yes, but my phone is now exploding because everyone is bailing. It's so funny. It's so funny listening to all the old guys, me included. Like, oh man, my calf is jacked. Oh, I blew out my knee playing with my son. I pulled my hamstring doing yard work.
I'm trying to pull my hamstring right now.
Right. I'm about to get in a car accident. Hold on.
I'm texting while driving. Well, you could go play the Dude Perfect guys and just get some autographs for us. Hey, invite them to the open house, to the ribbon cutting.
I might have to.
They could do trick shots.
Trying to decide. I'm gonna guess that I gotta draw this on twos, or have this go on twos.
When I was trying to make my little splashy splash thing, yeah, either you do it on twos or you have to do a ton of stuff, or at least put a couple of them on twos so that there's a little bit of a hold, like in the middle. You know what I mean? It's like, so otherwise it feels really even.
Woo, 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 woo.
Wow, look at you. So those are all technically on the same drawing?
Yes, those are drawing substitutions. I don't know if this is the way you would do it. I think it is. Because you turn on the onion skin here, so you can see everything. So it all lives on the same drawing.
That looks good.
We shall see.
Like hopes and dreams.
Bursting. This is the ribbon cutting. Oh? Oh?
Well, I feel bad that Rebecca jumped on today.
Pop.
It's like the lamest live stream we've done in a while because
Is it?
coming off of a bunch of really big stuff.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Rebecca.
It's gonna fire back up here next week.
There are people on here, though. There's more than just Grace and Rebecca. I don't know who else is on here. We're entertaining.
If nothing else, we fall back on our entertainment qualities. Oh, man.
Mystery people. Mystery people is right.
All right.
It's Todd. It's the dean. The dean is on here, seeing what we're saying.
Oh, well, welcome. All are welcome.
Oh man, if they
Don't say if, it's done.
we only have 7 to play.
Let's see. Probably should have worked on Banjo Bird stuff. Probably would have been for a better life student than what I'm doing right now. It's not cool to watch someone think about their stuff when they're trying to put it together because you can't see in it. Whatever. It doesn't-
Hey.
I won't do this again.
We are. The first episode of Banjo Birds is almost done. Like all the animation is done. We just have to actually package it together. And now that we're done with the Halloween stuff, and since our massive ribbon cutting project might be canceled, my mood is going up. I'll tell you that. We're gonna get some stuff done. Do you know how, Todd? Do you know how relieved I will be if that gets postponed?
I think you will be sad.
I will be so excited.
Man, you know what got announced on Halloween, Sean?
What happened?
One of my favorite toy companies, NECA, is
Yeah.
doing a line of classic Universal Monster toys.
Oh.
We released the Bela Lugosi Dracula.
Yeah?
Awesome looking. And it comes in color and in gray.
Nice.
I might get all of them in gray.
I found. Careful, Grace. Careful.
Don't knock the ribbon cutting. We're probably still going to do it.
We're still doing it, and careful, Grace. You're probably going to get invited to it.
I thought the whole reason it might get postponed is so she can share it.
That's right. We need a grad student to be on it. I wish we could just talk about real school stuff, Todd, on this and not get in trouble.
No. Do not do that. That just goes nowhere good.
You're being voluntold. No, not really. What do we like to do in our free time, Todd?
Well.
I'll answer for Todd, and Todd can answer for me. Todd enjoys driving children to sporting events and marching band.
Yes. And Sean loves a nice trip to the soccer practice. He also loves going to the U.S. men's national team soccer. And he likes going to volleyball. Actually, now I also go to basketball, Sean. Today is 2 basketball scrimmages.
Oh, nice.
Because my girls both made the basketball team.
Do you
And
secretly do you wish they didn't make it?
No. Well,
You'd have to deal with the fallout.
look, they're going to do something, right? So,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? Lex ran cross country today. She had to go run her mile and a half across country.
Yeah?
Her time was 1 minute and 30 seconds faster than any other 7th grader.
What were the others doing? A
I
minute
don't
and a
know,
half?
man. She was late.
Oh, wait. How long did you say? How far?
Mile and a half.
What are the rest of them doing? A minute and a half?
Yeah,
Faster?
well, let me check the official bulletin here.
Rebecca, I used to run a lot. I have not run for the past year because I injured myself. But if you can beat somebody by a minute and a half over the course of a mile and a half, I don't know what the other people were doing, but they weren't running.
Okay. She got it was a minute and 27 seconds faster than any other girl in 7th grade.
Dude. Nobody else was running.
Oh no, man.
They were strolling. Or your daughter is real fast.
Listen, I don't know what goes into the oatmeal. I can't say for certain. It was probably the donut she had for breakfast.
Yeah. It's all the sugar. We do, our kids do a lot of sports, Rebecca. Todd's kids are older than mine by a little bit. Mine do a lot of soccer. I coach soccer for my son.
And you play on a developmental team.
I play with some old men sadly it's a 30 and over league. I'm one of the oldest. I am well over 30. We are not good. We've never won. We were supposed to play a game tonight at 10:30, Todd. That's probably why everybody's getting a fake injury, because they're putting a game at 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah.
Dude, you should be sleeping then. Who's playing soccer at 10:30 for real? That game won't get over till midnight.
Yeah, it'll be 11:30 when we finish.
Wait, you play 30-minute halves?
Nah, it's like a 25-minute half.
I was gonna say that's a long time.
If it was a 30-minute half, we would be taking a nap.
That's a long time for a lot of ARPs to be out there.
Yeah. Proud to say my son's team is undefeated in like 4 years. It's like 8 soccer seasons.
Despite the coaching.
Despite my lack of soccer skill or intelligence.
No, that's not true. Dude, we won our last game like 10-1 this weekend.
Nice.
Louis scored a goal. She didn't want to move up. The guy's like, "You want to go up?" She's like, "Nope." And at the end, he forced her to go up, and then she scored. I was like, "What are you doing?"
So we had a tough one. I told you. I sent you a text.
I saw it.
It was like, what did I say? 6-4, I think. I think it was 6-4. But at halftime, it was 3-2, and they came out and scored, so it was 3-3. But they had a giant on defense. So my son's team plays up a year, and so these kids are at least a year older. They can be 2 years older. But Todd, the guy was. I mean, you've seen how my son is short because I'm short. But the kid on defense probably, Todd, came up to about here on me, like my eye level. So he was probably this much taller than Graham.
Wow.
And so he was playing middle defense, and Graham was always middle offense. And so they were just going at it like the whole time.
Dude.
I just think it's funny because he plays middle forward or center forward. He always has to go up against the really tall defender, and he's just so little. I mean, he's so little. Sorry, I've been ignoring the chat here. Yes, you see my running things in the back. Yes. You used to run cross country. All right. It forced you into track.
I think forced you into track, yeah. I have an idea, Sean.
Tell me.
Alright, so I told you about karate, right? So I think what could be funny is if boxers,
keep having to look to remember which one's which. Yes. So Boxers has on briefs, and he tries to like break. He's got a headband on and just his undies, right? And he tries to break a board, but it like hits him in the face.
Yeah.
Right. But then they switch, and if you look down here, he switches, and now he's upside down. So I'd like to take that one thing, kind of flip it to this, but then like boards come in from all the corners, and he starts flipping around and like busting all of them with like I don't know if that's too stupid, like it's too karate's too like random to put in there, or like.
I don't think it matters because it's all about like how he feels.
Right, that's what I mean. It's just gonna be like at first it's like he can't even do it, right? And then he do that, and he's like upside down, kind of like yeah. Anyways.
He could do well, you could do it a lot of different ways. It could be like a kick, or it could be like they come out and all of a sudden there's like 8 legs and they all break them at the exact same time.
Yes.
I don't know how you do that with the underwear.
I don't think it matters because once the boxers come out, I think you can do all kinds of stuff. Even if it's like it like swoops around and you've got like the Looney Tunes like multi legs kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I thought like he could be jumping. He's on like one hand and he uses his other hand like a foot. And then he's like punching with his feet, you know what I mean? And then kind of like flipping around and
Yeah.
whatever. But I thought that could be kind of interesting. I'm just going to come up with as many ideas like that as I can. And if you come up with any,
Yeah.
share. And then we can just start putting some stuff together and see what looks interesting or what's kind of funny. But yeah, I think the general idea for this then is almost like the rest of the shows would be that we're talking about, where it's just them kind of there doing something, popping in and out of both pairs and kind of deciding. And since the Karate Kid is back, we should totally rip on that.
Hey, if this thing does get postponed, we should try to get Steve's if he wants to donate anything, or maybe not even donate, but just to show.
Well, we can bring it up to him. He's going to Florida, he told me.
Mm.
So he wouldn't have been here anyways for the thing. But he said after that he wants to kind of get together. We can grab lunch or something and talk with him. But I think, dude, like even like legit, if he wants to, it would be awesome to have an exhibition of some of his stuff.
Yeah.
We can figure out how we get it framed or how we do whatever for it. It would have to be protected, obviously, so it doesn't walk. We could do it in the suite.
Yeah, you'd have to do it in here.
But it would just be fun, cool. The only other place I think you could do it is if you had another room that you could put the stuff up and have someone sitting there, like when it's available or open to the public.
Yep. All right, Rebecca.
All right, thanks, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Check back. Most streams are better than this one. Yeah, check out some of the stuff. If you want to see what we've been doing, go to the Instagram page or go to some other videos on here. We haven't posted up a lot of the Halloween stuff on here yet, but I'm gonna put all 3 together, Sean.
Okay.
And then show some behind the scenes stuff and get that done.
All right. We'll see if I can finish this. before we're done here.
Dude, you gotta watch Doctor Death.
You're liking it?
Almost done with it. It's only 8 episodes, man. It's really good. It is insane that this stuff could actually happen.
What about What We Do in the Shadows? Have you watched any of that?
I am working on it. I need to. Is it done?
It might be.
I'm guessing what you and Carol were talking about was kind of the mic drop at the end of the season.
It had one more, because I watched the next one, and I felt like that was the finale.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it seemed like that one was.
I watched the highlights from yesterday's game.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Dude, it was nuts.
The ending was crazy. There's a lot going on.
You know what, though? And it was not a good game. But I give that guy, Cooper, I give him some credit
Sure.
because he still went out and did it. It was not great, but he got it, man.
Yeah, good for him. I thought it was interesting. Were you listening to the radio this morning?
Yes, I was.
They were talking about how Minnesota has a horrible run defense, and so they stacked against the run. But it forced him to have to, he had to throw it. But he got his shot, right? And he did it.
And you know so much about some of that cowboy stuff. Not pick about cowboys, but our cowboy stuff.
Right.
Dude, I have so many ideas. I think that could be so fun, especially if we can get Nick involved and have somebody do some narrations for them.
Yeah.
And I loved your idea of if we can put them somehow together in such a way.
Yes.
I think that would be amazing.
I think if we're going to do it, we need to do it that way.
Yeah.
Because then it'll help us with our other just regular school stuff.
Yeah.
I was thinking if he did something like, villains or something like that, or how not to be successful in the West. How not to be successful like Robert or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you basically do the vignette thing like I loved from like Cars of the Future and stuff from Chuck or Tex Avery or whatever it was way back when. But you can then just have a vignette of different characters coming out doing different stuff, and each one fails in a different way, but it's all tied together in terms of why it's not successful,
Right.
or something along those lines at least.
All right, Todd, what do you think of that?
That's really nice. You're doing it, man. Look at you.
Look at me.
You want my critique?
Sure.
Right there on that drawing. That one. No, back up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the way. That one right there. Stop. Stop. Back up. Stop. That one. See the third line from the left?
Uh-huh.
Could you just, like, ever so faintly get rid of that little tiny end section to it? It was bumping me. And then can you just do this across it?
Hold on just a second.
Yes. Yes. Oh, it's a heart.
Almost. I was just
Wait,
missing.
wait. Don't you have a book you can check? You gotta get that right.
I was
No,
just
that's cool.
just missing a whatever was coming in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can hold
I think it was really cool.
a couple of these.
That's what I was saying, like when I was doing the bubbles on the.
Oh, perfect. It crashed.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's the one thing I've noticed about that piece of software.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
And that's what animation is all about, everybody. You work on something, it goes away, and then you end the stream and you go home for the day. You come back, pick up the pieces tomorrow, and there you go.
Dude, that is so annoying. I mean, it's not like I was gonna keep it or do anything with it anyways, but
I was gonna frame it.
hey, it's recorded on the stream.
Hey, you still have it there. I saved my stuff.
I'm gonna see if it
I don't think it does the automatic save thing like Photoshop does the recall thing.
yeah, I don't think it does either.
I think you have to buy ultra premium for that.
You gotta be on the super duper what's
Oh, Grace is totally right.
what?
That's what you get for
The Banjo Bird. Yeah, it does not do an auto save or anything like that. I can't.
I just pulled the plug out of your machine, that's what you don't know.
Yeah.
When I had the suite put together, I have control over everyone's monitors.
Todd, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't laugh because it was about someone in class, but someone sat down and tried to log in.
Mm-hmm.
The monitor came on, and then it was giving some kind of weird error. And I'm like, my computer's not working, Professor. Can you come look? And I went over. Todd, there's no tower. There was no tower there. I was like, yeah, there's no tower. There's
Dude,
obviously.
we remember, we used to talk about this. We used to do that in the studio. I'd unplug people's mice and their keyboards, and they'd be
Yeah.
sitting there for 15 minutes trying to figure out what the problem was. They call tech support. Or you put tape on the bottom of the scroll, on the bottom of the wheel.
I did on Alvin. We had we were in like far off no man's land because we were interns, and they had built desks for us. So we were in like these big long, just they'd take a sheet of plywood and make a desk out of it, and line 6 people up. But we would take, if somebody was gone for any amount of time, like I would take their keyboard and I would put push pins all around it so that it was stuck into a shape, like so they couldn't use it, right? Yeah. So then they'd have to undo every push pin, but I'd put like 50 or 60, just like cramming them in. But what was really good is if you did it, sometimes you could hook them underneath the thing, and so then they'd pull it and be like, what's going on? They'd have to, just stupid stuff.
Yes, and that's what made it worthwhile.
You would spend like 20 minutes doing something that takes about 1 minute to fix, but was pretty funny.
It was all worth it in the end.
I told you about forcing an image to somebody's desktop.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
always fun.
They used to figure out how to, they would take screen grabs of like rendering and other stuff. And I don't remember who was doing it. It was someone in our group would do it. Because they were they knew the tech login. So they could basically log into everyone's machines, and they would start putting up images on like locked screens. And then you would come in thinking that it was locked, and that
Yeah.
you couldn't access anything.
Linux machines are kind of fun.
Linux machines you could do a lot with.
You could do anything if you knew the code.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
About done for today, Sean.
I'm done because my thing crashed, but all right. For anybody who's out there, other than Grace, I know Grace is here, but thanks for stopping by, hanging out with us. Until next time, so long.
Bye bye.